a lot of the sports that I played growing up. I think, again, for the same reason. My daughter is a little bit more interesting. I think she's going to be doing some ballet and dance and some things that Dad's not going to be able to help her much with. But no, I don't enforce it on him. If anything, I would say I find myself at times making allowances for him to still continue to do them despite the fact that he gets in trouble. It's kind of like we take everything away except sports. So.
Okay. So what would you guys suggest is like the best age to play your kid in sports?
I would say young. I mean, I know they start at like 5 now, 5, 6. I think it is a good age to start. I think it's the earlier you start, the more you can start hitting on these things, and then you can just grow up. And by the time you're in high school and college, I mean, it really makes you who you are, in my opinion.
I mean, building on that, actually 2 of my best friends from like growing up since we were 5, 6 years old, we started playing t-ball together, and from my hometown, from Laurel, Delaware. And we all ended up going to high school together, and we're all playing college baseball together here right now. So.
Last thing I'll add to that is I do think it depends on the sport also. Certain ones I think you can start a little bit younger than others for sure. So.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, cause you said you've been playing since you were younger.
Yeah.
So you feel like, I'm a big procrastinator, but when I was in sports, like I had like my schedule set, and now that I don't have it, it's like I'm all over the place. So how do you feel like you got prepared from you were young to compared to college now?
See, because in college it's like even more stressful because now I got to worry about when do I have to be at lift, when do I have meetings, when do I have practice. So like my daily schedule has been like very set for me almost. So it's to the point where like if I don't push to get like my assignments done, say I have a paper due next week, like I know I only have these amount of days to actually get this done or this amount of hours to get this done. So if I push things off and get procrastinated, then that's when you're up till 4 or 5 in the morning trying to get something done the night before, and that's just not good for your health overall, and your work's usually not as good quality.
With that being said though, like when you grow up and play sports though, come into college, you get that structure. So I don't think it's that much of a difficult change when you hit college. Like I know I played baseball here for a couple of years.
Yeah.
When you, from high school and from when I was little, I had so much structure that when I got here, it was kind of just second nature. Like
normal.
just fell into place. Like it wasn't that big of a change for me, at least personally.
Nah,
I feel like a lot of people it's the same exact way. You're just so used to it your whole life that when you get here, it's just like, all right, new season. But
So, when y'all are doing your research for this and all, was there anything in hindsight that you're like sparked something like, oh, I learned this from youth sports? Like, are there any traits that y'all like really feel like y'all acquired from this?
For me personally, no. I feel like everything that I may have learned a little bit more, it just felt right in line. I was like, that makes perfect sense. Everything like that. It wasn't anything where I was like, oh, maybe that explains that. It just all made sense.
The only
Straight
like
through.
shocking discovery I made was the statistic I provided. Like I really didn't know that you are less likely to have anxiety if you grow up playing youth sports.
Yeah.
Do you think there is like an age? You said the earlier the better or whatever, but is there like an age limit? I know you said something about 14 years, but if you miss the boat basically of jumping into the teams or whatever, and you didn't start with t-ball, is there any like age where you say, okay, this is probably good for you then?
I don't think so. I just think that if you jump in at an older age, you need to jump in at a less competitive level. So like, if you jump in at 14 and you're playing the most competitive level with kids who've been playing since they're 5, you're just going to end up hating it. And there's different organizations and stuff for people who want to play less competitively. It's more for just to get out and get exercise. I think that they should start there, and then once you get better, you can jump into the highly competitive leagues. But you don't want someone to come in older and end up hating it and not getting these benefits because they're just getting trampled by the people who are a lot better. This would be my opinion of it.
Yeah, in the back.
So with you having a son, do you help him with his time management on like when he has to do his homework or he's going outside and
less so now, but yes, when he first got into, I would say, more schoolwork. So therefore, he's about to be 13. So therefore, he's 7th grade now, 8th grade. That's kind of where I think your schoolwork sort of ramps up. I loved when he was in 5th grade, and he had the teachers that year that were trying out the new no homework idea. And the homework assignments were like, oh, go outside and throw a ball around, or oh, go for a walk in the woods. I was like, this is the best program ever. Like, that was perfect for me. So yeah, kind of helping him adapt to certain parts of it, we definitely do. My wife is actually extremely good at the whole putting things on a calendar and doing that sort of thing. He's developing, I think, well from there. But kids are kids, so he likes to try and mess about too.
Given that you have your kids and you have them in sports programs, I guess professionally, like later on, what are maybe some of the aspects that you would like to see get pulled or transition for them professionally? I guess once they start to develop more into other aspects like work and things like that.
I'm not sure exactly what you.
I mean, like, so if they, continuing from where they are
Mhm.
with like sports, I guess if they were to continue like down, or if they were to continue to be like student athletes, I guess when they start to get or venture into like the professional, like the working field,
Mhm.
when they start to get jobs, I guess like what traits are you hoping that they, like if you've thought about it at all, like what traits you might hope that they like take on that are good qualities that they have now that you could see like being beneficial for them later on? Like what would you like to see?
I think my son works. I think one of the greatest benefits that he has is he has the ability to work really well as a team because he plays elite level soccer. However, he probably was considerably better at golf. He's been to like world nationals and stuff like that for golf. So he's also very good at the individual, and I think that the ability to work both are really going to help him, later on when he gets into a career and that sort of thing. Thank you very much for all your questions. They were some good ones. Enjoy the rest of your night.